Growing up, I hated myself so badly. Like when I mean I hated myself so badly, I despised myself a lot. I had this challenge of low esteem. I had a very low esteem. I belittled myself. I felt like I wasn't good enough. I felt like the society don't really need my existence. So I battled for this for a very long time. I battled with self-discovering, trying to figure out life, who I am, like what am I living for. I had a very, very terrible experience growing up. Not until I discovered that I need to figure out life. At some point, I felt it was as a result of my childhood memories, which I'm going to share to you all very soon on this channel. That will be a separate video entirely. So, but when growing up, I lost consciousness of myself. Like, I felt like I am nobody, that nothing good can come out of me. Not until I tried my possible best to figure out life. But I actually seek the face of God, and at the same time, I had a quiet time to ask myself some questions. And this is what I'm going to be sharing with you all in this video. Now the question is, who are you? Who truly are you? Why are you existing? What are your purpose of existence? And what are the things that actually makes you proud of yourself? What are the things that actually makes you happy? Like, why do you think you are actually existing? There are some certain questions we need to ask ourselves before we could discover ourselves and figure out life in its dimension. Now, have you ever met someone and you ask yourself this question, like if that person you met actually knows who they are? I mean, they are brave, they are bold, they are courageous, they are determined, they are hardworking, and they have this positive affirmation about themselves. I mean, they strongly believe in themselves and they have this unstoppable belief about themselves. They so much believe in their goals, in their vision, in their aspirations, in their dreams. I mean, they so much believe that the world is theirs, the world is their stage, and they could act on it at any point in time. Now, let me shock you about those brave people. They've not only connected to themselves or to their authentic self, but they've actually find themselves and they've actually embraced themselves for who they are. Like, they've embraced their strengths, they've embraced their weaknesses, they've embraced everything that relates to them. I mean, in the journey of self-discovery, it's one thing to discover yourself and it's one thing to embrace who you are. It's one thing to believe in yourself that you are more, and there are a lot of potentials and there are a lot of hidden treasures inside of you that need to be unleashed. It's one thing to have in you, to have those deeper thoughts in you that the world is actually waiting to hear your voice. So you figure out your life and you figure out your purpose of existence before you'll be able to push people through the pathway of reaching to their destiny fulfillment. If you're trying to figure out life, there are some certain questions you need to ask yourself. If you're trying to figure out life, there are some certain questions you need to ask yourself. There are some criteria, there are some necessary things you need to sit down, ponder on, and ask yourself, ask your inner self who you really think you are. No one is going to bring you out into self-discovery. You have to take that bold step. Now, the pathway to self-discovery is a lonely path, and it takes one who is determined. It takes one who is ready to change into a different dimension they never imagined they could operate. It takes one who is ready to take the bull by the horn to be able to approach their life in that dimension. Now, ask yourself who you are. Why are you existing? What are the things you can do? What are the things that makes you feel good about yourself? What are those things that has been deposited inside of you that you are yet to discover? Now, the journey to self-discovery needs one to carefully have a quiet time with his or herself. This one is not someone who is going to help you or push you through the path. So you have to sit down and figure it out yourself. If you don't figure it out yourself, no one will figure it out for you. I know a lot of people are thinking that finding their self is hard. Yes, finding yourself is hard. Finding yourself is hectic. Finding yourself requires work. You need to put in a lot of work to find who you truly are. Finding yourself isn't for the faint-hearted. It is for someone who is ready to work extra miles. Someone who is ready to go the extra miles for his or herself. Like I do tell you earlier on, that no one is going to do it for you. You have to find yourself, find who you truly are, and be ready to explore certain areas of life. Be ready to take risks in life. Be ready to learn certain things. Be ready for failure, yes. Be ready for failures and be ready for wins. Now, I've been in that shoe before. There was a certain time in my life that I was trying to figure out life. I mean, I was like, baby, what is life for you? Like, what does life has to offer to me? Like, why are you existing? What is your purpose here on earth? I see a lot of people who are living life to the fullest, who have actually discovered their purpose of existence, who are actually, see, it's wanting to discover life, it's wanting to discover your purpose of existence, and it's wanting to live a purposeful life, and it's wanting to be fulfilled living that kind of life. I have been in that shoe. I wandered like a hen without a destination. So this is me trying to tell you that you have to sit back, relax, take a deep breath, and ruminate about your life, and ask yourself some certain questions about life, and also go back to your maker. Now, who is your maker? God. God is the originator of you. He was the one who created you. He is your manufacturer. He is your source. For instance, when you get a product, if you get any products, you have to glance through the manual. Why? Because the manufacturer who produced that product actually has the guidelines on how to make use of that product. So if you want to understand the guidelines of your life, you need to go seek your maker, which is God. So now, putting God aside will not allow you to discover who life is. For you to discover life, for you to live a purposeful life, you must first of all discover your strengths. Now, what are your strengths? What are your energies? What are your virtues? What are your value? What are those hidden treasures inside of you? What are those potential that are lying inside of you that you don't know? There are a lot of hidden treasures inside of you, virtues, values that are waiting for you to unclog them. Also discover your weaknesses. What are your weaknesses? And as well discover your opportunities. I actually break down 4 tips. So I'm going to be giving you guys 4 tips on how to discover who you are and discover yourself and figure out life. And I actually broke them down into 4 points, and I actually made them in an acronym, which is GEEK. Now the GEEK stands for, the G stands for gifts, the E stands for experience, the second E stands for expertise, and the K stands for knowledge. Now the first G is the gift. You have this affirmation that you are a gift, and you have a gift inside of you. You have some hidden treasures inside of you that is waiting for you to unleash them. You have potentials, you have talents, you have virtues. There are a lot of things inside of you, a lot of talents that you were not born ordinary. You're not an ordinary man. You are a supernatural being. So you are not just a common man. There are a lot of things that have been placed inside of you. Now it's left for you to ponder on it. It's left for you to reflect on it. It's left for you to sit down and evaluate who you truly are. No one is going to help you figure out life. Humanity is waiting for you to unleash that gift so that it can be beneficial to them. You have some certain attributes, you have some certain qualities that matters to the society. So this is me telling you that you matters. Like, you matters in every aspect of life. Your life matters, your financial life matters, your social life matters, your spiritual life matters, your voice matters, your heart matters, your impact, the impact you're going to place to the society matters a lot. Now it's one thing to discover yourself, and it's one thing to live a purposeful life. Now the next point on my list is the E, which is the experience. Now Albert Einstein once said that the source of knowledge is experience. Now with the experience of life, you should be able to give a knowledgeable details or a knowledgeable account of who you are. Now in your journey of life, there are a lot of experiences we undergo. There are a lot of experiences we face through the journey of life, and these are what shapes us, and these are what define us. Now, in your experience about life, I'm certainly sure that you must be able to observe, you must be able to participate, and you must be able to learn, and this is what makes you who you are. There are times you undergo some experiences in life, you sit down, you ask yourself, like, you ponder on your life and you ask yourself, like, who truly are you? So with your experience, you can actually discover who you are. With your experience, you can actually figure out life. With your experience, you can actually revamp your life around. Through my experience in life, like I said earlier, when I'm still going to share here on this channel, I had this bad feeling about myself. I battled with low self-esteem. At some point, I belittled myself. At some point, I feel like I am not valuable enough. When I sat down, there are a lot of experience I encounter in life. When I sat down, when I ruminate about it, I discovered that no, there is more to me. And those experiences really made me learn. I discovered that I learned some things through those experiences. There were some things I actually discarded, and there were some things that I learned and I put in the hard work into it, and what makes me who I am today. So through your experience in life, trust me, you can be able to figure out yourself through your experiences. Third way you can discover yourself and discover life is through your expertise. And now, what is expertise? Expertise are skills, and these are knowledge of a particular field. And now this expertise, they are actually learned. Yes, they are actually acquired. You actually learn them. them. So now if you want to discover yourself, there are certain things you need to know. You need to be very knowledgeable about some certain things. You need to take your time and learn some skills. I used to tell people that you need to learn skills. A lot of things you need to venture into. You need to pick up a particular career and learn it to the very core. I mean, when they're even counting the top trees, you should be among the top trees. That is what life is all about. If you want to do something, let it be worth doing. Okay, so expertise can also make you discover who you are. Expertise can also make you figure out life. When my brother was growing up, he was our only bro, and at some point he said he wanted to study medicine. We tried all we could for him to get the medicine, but it was not working. Along the line, he switched courses to architecture. I will tell you that he's exceedingly doing well in that field. Like, I will tell you that he's exceedingly doing well in that field. Like, I mean, when they're even calling for the top people who are actually doing well in their office, they call him first. I mean, he carried a lot of the complex projects on his shoulder because they feel like they saw something great in him. In fact, anything worth doing should be worth doing well. Anything you're doing, do it with your full chest. Do it like that thing actually depends on your life. You can actually discover your life through expertise, through profession. There are a lot of profession you can actually venture into. They have the graphic work, they have the creating content, they have nursing, they have fashion designing. They have a lot of things you can use to figure out life. So stop sitting back, you're looking, you're folding your hands, you're asking me, what is life? How can I figure out life? You need to sit down and get it started. I used to tell people that a step is actually a step forward. Make it count. Stand up and take that bold step today. Learn that skill, and at the end of the day, you will enjoy every bit of it. I'm going to use myself as an instance. I remember when I started my hair care brand, it was during the corona pandemic. I had no skill. I was 23 years as of that time. I was at home, I was in my final year, and the corona pandemic was actually having a great effect. It was really having a bad, not even great, a bad effect on each and every one of us. I mean, we ought to have graduated, but we were at home doing nothing. I sat down, I pondered about my life, and I looked back and I was like saying, no, this can't be my life. So for instance, if they say school should be locked or anything, doesn't mean that I would just be like that, nobody, because as of that time I had no skill in my hand. Not until I had to sit down, I had to ponder, like, who are you, baby? What can you do with your hands? What skill can you learn that will make you productive, that will make you useful, that will make you find solution to humanity? What is that skill that you can do that will fetch you money on your table? So I had to sit down. I was finding it difficult as of that time because I felt like I am nobody, like nobody really needed me. Like I felt so belittled of myself. Not until I ventured into my hair care product. Nobody was born with a skill. Nobody was born with a profession. Nobody was born with a certain expertise. We all actually made a move. We made a move to actually actualize that thing. You need to come out from your comfort zone. You need to take that step. You need to stop overthinking. You need to stop the procrastination and take that bold step. Look at the life of Chimamanda Adichie. For her, who is the best winning award author in this our century right now, she actually made effort to get to that height where she is. It didn't just happen overnight. She wasn't born and she became the award-winning author. No, she actually worked for it. She actually burnt her candles for it. Now look at Jeff Bezos, the executive chairman of Amazon. Now look at Elon Musk. All these people actually made a way. All these great men and women, they actually made effort to make their life count and meaningful to the society. Now the fourth point on my list is knowledge. You need to be very knowledgeable about some certain things in life. Your knowledge about certain things in life can actually make you discover who you are. That is why no one is an island. You need to always search for knowledge. You need to always be a fact finder. You need to also research. You have to make effort into learning something new every day. You have to be very, very hungry for success. For you to be hungry for success, you must be hungry to learn new things. You must be knowledgeable about certain things. You must always be someone who is always inquisitive. You want to know everything. So there are certain ways you can actually discover your life. Stop sitting back, relaxing. Come out from your comfort zone because nobody is going to help you figure out life. Growth is not an easy. It's not for the faint-hearted. It's not for the weak. It's for those people who are strong in mind. People who are ready to take risks. People who are ready to allow their voice to be heard. I really hope you guys learned a thing or two in today's video. If you're still trying to figure out life, like what the life have in stock for you, please, you need to go back to your drawing board. You need to go back to your quiet time. Sit down and re-strategize again. Sit down and ponder. Sit down and evaluate and ask yourself some certain questions. I really love you all of this and I'm rooting for you. So this is Baby Harry First channel. If you're just new here, hi, this is Baby Harry First channel and you're on to If It's a Blessing. I am so glad to have you all here once again. Please don't forget my main face, okay? All right. So if you're a returning subscriber, you guys already know you are the real deal. Like, I heard you all plenty. I see you guys comment. I see you guys love. Thank you for always engaging in my posts. You guys mean the world to me. Please, if you haven't subscribed, do well to subscribe to our channel, because this year 2023, I'm going to be giving you guys content back to back. So I really love you all of this, and please don't forget to like our videos, comment, share, and let's make it an interactive one. So I really want to hear your comments in the comment section below. How were you able to figure out life? How were you able to live a purposeful life? How were you able to come out from your shell? How were you able to take that step that made you who you are today? So I really want to hear your comments in the comment section below. Trust me, I love you all and I'm rooting for you. So thank you so much, lovelies, and see you in my next video. Bye.